So we have just seen game 4 of the World Chess Championship encounter between Ding Liren and Gukesh end in a draw. So after the start of the rest day, which happened yesterday, the first game was today, game 4, and both players agreed for a draw after 41 moves. So with this latest result that we have seen between Ding and Gukesh, the score line remains 2-2. Now, it is very important to understand that Ding Liren today was playing with white pieces and Gukesh was playing with black. And it was a rather complicated game that you had to see because Ding started off with the Reti defense opening. Now, basically, in the Reti defense opening, you begin with the knight and then you have the d pawn file that goes. And traditionally, when you look at this kind of an opening, it kind of indicates a drawish position at this point in time. Yesterday, when day before yesterday, when Gukesh was playing the Queen's Gambit declined opening, you kind of felt that yes, he wanted to consolidate his position and ensure that he went ahead and did the match in his own terms. But Ding had blundered, and because of that, now Gukesh found the opening. He ensured that with his two bishops, he ensured that the game would be won, and it was his first win over Ding Liren in classical chess. But now, when you look at it, this game with the Reti opening, you kind of understood that yes, perhaps both players would not want to make any kind of blunders, did not want to push themselves when it came to forcing a result. And because of that, after the end of game 4, 41st position when you looked at it, Ding and Gukesh agreed for a draw. Now, it is very important to understand that it was a very complicated middle game that happened, and most of the engines, may you look at Stockfish, may you look at all the other things, they were not going to actually give any player that much of a chance. White had a slight benefit, but then it was very, very marginal. Gukesh held on to his lines. The queens were exchanged later on after move 35, but with the rooks still there was one rook. Gukesh had taken a pawn and he was a pawn up in the middle games when you looked at it. But the position and the complication was such that yes, you couldn't force a result unless someone made a dramatic blunder. Now there was a chance if Ding Liren had not moved his king in the right way, he could have been trapped in two moves. He could have had the rook coming in, and he would have also ensured that with the queen coming in, he would have been trapped. But Ding Liren spotted that, and because of that, he made the right king move and ensured that yes, Gukesh had to really ensure that yes, it was almost a threefold repetition. But then the queens were exchanged, the pawns were exchanged later on, and despite of all that, the advantage remained equal. And after move 41, both players shook hands and ensured that the game ended in a draw. So after 4 games in the World Chess Championship, you're looking at just a 2-2 result, but you still have a lot of time remaining because now there are 10 more games remaining in the World Chess Championship. Tomorrow, Gukesh plays with White, and that is why now this is going to ensure that you enter into a very attritional phase in the World Chess Championship. Now, remember, you have seen teams which have really done well. You've seen individuals who really captured the situation at the very end of the World Chess Championship. But here, after 3 games, you've already seen Ding level, Gukesh level. And that is why now this game, many people would have wanted, okay, let's just not get into the openings. Let's just not complicate ourselves and push ourselves. It's a long tournament. And because of that, now both players agreed to a draw. And because of that, Gukesh and Ding Liren, they have agreed to a draw after 41 moves. Tomorrow is game 5 of the World Chess Championship, and you're going to see potentially Gukesh trying to go for a win with the white pieces. It was a good, solid defense by Gukesh today. The Reti opening did not inspire you that much of thinking that, okay, you can break through unless there was a blunder. This could have happened. So, game 5 of the World Chess Championship is going to happen tomorrow. Gukesh is going to be with white. And maybe in this middle period, now you've got 3 more days, then you have another rest day. And then after that, you're entering into the final, if you look at it, the business end of the World Chess Championship. So that is why we are reaching the halfway point. Tomorrow is going to be game 5. So let's see how Gukesh will do it. It was a solid display by both. Both didn't show any kind of nerves. When you see the press conference that's going to happen later on, you will say that both players tried and they tried all their stuff, but then it just didn't come up. So that's why good result for both. 2-2, it still keeps the World Chess Championship open. But let us not underestimate Ding Liren. He's going to be really solid in his title defense. Yes, there was a blunder, but Gukesh is on par when you look at it. So, good result for both with black and white. It was a draw. Rethi defense, you understood that yes, Ding would go for an attritional middle game, but that didn't happen and Gukesh held his nerve. After 41 moves, they agreed for a draw. Remember, the rules state that you cannot offer a draw before move 40. Unless there is a three-fold repetition, then and only then you can get a draw. Otherwise, you can't. So after move 41, they agreed to a draw and it was signed. So that is why Gukesh versus Ding Liren game 4 ends in a draw. Tomorrow is game 5. Let's see how that pans out. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.